Hello and welcome. My name is Tracie Rogers and this is On the Couch, a weekly video series where we discuss a range of mental health issues. Today my guest is Trishsanna Poyah-Rasul. She's a counseling psychologist and we're talking about self-esteem, especially for young people in particular. Yes. So we hear that word self-esteem all the time and it's right or wrong. So today we want to really break down self-esteem, what that is and why it is important.
Yes.
So what would be your definition of self-esteem?
Self-esteem would be a realistic, appreciative opinion of oneself. Realistic meaning taking into consideration, your life experiences, what has happened to you and what you really think of yourself, as well as appreciative, meaning, appreciating and having a compassionate view of who you are as a person.
And we know, and I like that definition, I like the realistic part as well. So self-esteem and mammogism is two completely different things.
Yeah.
It's this realistic, honest, accurate self-assessment, which is an important aspect of emotional intelligence of yourself. And we know, especially for young people, and especially for girls, that self-esteem and how you feel and how you appreciate yourself could make a significant impact, and have a significant impact on how you progress into adulthood.
Yes, definitely. Because self-esteem is really straddling this line between self-defeating criticism, so being overly critical of yourself, as well as self-defeating pride, being, thinking that you're the best thing since sliced bread, in everything that you do, which can in itself be defeating as well.
Let's talk a little bit about how a negative or low self-esteem is related to mental health.
So low self-esteem affects everything that you do and the perceptions that you have about the people around you, what you think that they think about you. So therefore it affects the way you behave, right? In children in particular, it's important to recognize it because low self-esteem affects development. It affects their developing perception of society and about, themselves as people. So it's important to look at self-esteem as one of the things that is critical in, that it's critical that you develop self-esteem in young people as they are growing up.
You're talking, I think, about how significant the responsibility of the parent is.
Yes.
And I think in many ways when we parent, we can actually be contributing to that low self-esteem. Yes. And one of the ways that we do that is that we don't separate what our children do from who they are.
Yeah.
And so we marry the two together and we say something like, really, that's what you do? You wasn't thinking? Or we say, that's bad. You have no behavior, you're good for nothing. Whereas we should never be saying those words to a child anyway.
Exactly.
But how do I separate what you did, that behavior, the way that you were speaking, your thought pattern, that behavior is not becoming, but I really like you. You were important to me because I can change what I do, but I don't know if I can change who I am.
Exactly. So as you rightfully said, it's about separating you. So intrinsic self-worth, meaning self-worth that you were born with versus the social credit that you get, from getting these A's, from doing things that other people value. Yeah. So it's about separating and recognizing which is it that we weigh, and having children or having young people assess which is more important to them or which should be more important, which should have more weight, the value that I'm born with versus the social credit that I gain by doing certain things, by getting the A's, by getting all the likes on Facebook or all the likes on my pictures. How do I value myself? Do I value myself by that more than the fact that I'm worthy just by being?
So, we can't talk about self-esteem without talking about worthiness. But I want to come back and talk a little bit about social media. Because I think our children are growing up in a different age with social media. And there's ways in which social media can be significantly impacting our sense of worth for children and adults. So we're going to continue along this line and continue this discussion about self-esteem and positive self-worth. Thank you so much for joining us.